All right, so let's talk about adjetivos posesivos. To express possession, we use adjetivos posesivos. They tell you who owns something or describes a relationship between people or things. If you think about it, we use these in English as well. When it says ojo, we need you to pay attention. It says in Spanish, possessive adjectives agree in number with the nouns that they describe. All of these, all 6 of these, have to agree in number with the nouns that they describe. Typically, when we think of adjectives in Spanish, where do they typically go in a sentence? They'll go after the noun. Unlike our typical adjectives in Spanish, possessive adjectives go in front of the noun that they modify, making sure that you agree in number with the noun that it describes. So here we have our 6 possessive adjectives: mi, tú, su, nuestro, vuestro, and su. Once again, mi, tú, su, nuestro, vuestro, and su. Tú looks very familiar if you remember back to your subject pronouns. The main difference between your subject pronoun of tú versus possessive adjective of tú is that the subject pronoun tú has an accent. Okay? Notice the third person is the same thing, so it has about 5 to 6 different people that it belongs to. Okay? Nuestro and vuestro also have to agree in gender with the noun that they describe. Okay, so all 6 possessive adjectives have to agree in number, but only these 2, nuestro and vuestro, have to agree in gender as well as number, as you can see the examples listed. We have nuestro abuelo, nuestros abuelos, nuestra abuela, nuestras abuelas. Here's some examples. Es mi tío is going to mean what? He's my uncle. Es tu libro. It's your book. Es su pluma. Su, remember, refers to quite a few people, so without further information, we really don't know whose pen that is, other than it could be it's your pen, it's his pen, it's her pen, it's their pen. So depending on that extra information that we need, we wouldn't be able to tell exactly whose pen that is. All I know that it's not mine, yours, or ours. So here's some práctica to complete. Number 1 is going to be es mi libro. Number 2, mi familia es ecuatoriana. Número 3, tu novio es italiano. 4, nuestro profesor es español. 5, es su papá. 6, es tu tarea. 7, es su amiga. Notice the formal, right? Main difference here, familiar, formal. And then we have su sobrina. So we have a lot of sus here, right? The plurals. So if you look back at the singulars, what is the main difference between the singular possessive adjectives and the plural possessive adjectives? All you do really is add an s to each of them to make them plural. Okay, and notice that vuestros is in blue just like it was in the singular version. Remember that this one really only truly Spanish people from Spain use them. Here's some examples. Son nuestros abuelos, so that means that they are our grandparents. Son mis camisetas, they are my t-shirts. Son sus sillas, could be they are his chairs, her chairs. We just don't know without further information. Some práctica with our plurals. Número 1, sus primos son venezolanos. Número 2, nuestros primos son estadounidenses. Notice that primos is plural and masculine. Nuestros has to agree. Son sus lápices. Sus nietos son españoles. Son nuestras plumas. Plumas is feminine and plural, so our has to be feminine and plural. Son mis papeles. Número 7, mis amigas son panameñas. Y número 8, son sus parientes. Okay. Couple more things to emphasize. If you need to emphasize, you're going to substitute, meaning you're using this instead of your possessive adjective. You're going to substitute the adjective with de plus the pronoun or the person's name. For example, es el libro de Raquel. This literally means that it's the book of Raquel. Now, how would we say that in English? We would say Raquel's book. We would add that apostrophe S, but look over here. Okay, over to the bottom right of the screen, the apostrophe S does not exist. So what we do in order to clarify whose item that belongs to or whose relation that is, we say it the long way. It's the book of Raquel. Okay. Second example, son los lápices de ustedes. They are the pencils of you guys, or also in English, you guys' pencils. Right? Here it says this also helps clarify the meaning of Sue and Sue's, because without further clarification, we cannot really tell who they're talking about. So here we have an example of es su tío. It could be it's his uncle, it's her uncle, it's their uncle, we just don't know. So the clarification phrase that we use is es el tío de él. Son sus libros, or son los libros de ella. Okay, so notice here the apostrophe S just doesn't exist. We have to state what the item is and then that it belongs to that person. So this is how we do it. El libro de Raquel, los lápices de ustedes, el tío de él, los libros de ella.